So I feel like self improvement kind of lends itself very easily to self isolation. And like I know this because I was there. Um, when you make everything about being productive, it's really easy to forget that you need to be around people. And that's kind of what makes you happy. And it's honestly like a loss of productivity if you're not around people because you will be depressed and you will find it a lot harder to be motivated to work, even if you have crazy discipline, right? Like there's obviously there's very rare cases where people are isolated, but for the majority of people that's not healthy, and that's not something that you should strive to go for. Even if that's something that like you can do, it will be very difficult to kind of integrate back into just having people as part of your daily life. And I mean, I guess I can't speak for everyone, but I can't imagine someone having this vision for an ideal life. And that's like, what self improvement is. It's to build this ideal life that doesn't involve people, like other people. You want to be recognized and you want to be the best version of yourself so that you can be that person to other people, right? And even if like, you're content on your own and that's totally cool. Like I think that's something that you should work towards. There's no ideal world where you're just alone, right? So I think it's very important to kind of make sure you're like around other people a lot. And like this is kind of controversial too, but if that means partying, like I think that's totally okay. And obviously there's a few like caveats with that. Like, if you're going out every night, that's not healthy, right? Like especially like, if you're drinking or something. But yeah, man, it's just I hate when people like miss out on stuff that would have been so much fun. Like it's like going out on an adventure, right? Like it's like why would you close yourself off to that? And obviously saying no is important. I'm not saying you should say yes anytime someone asks you to go out. Like if it especially if it affects work that you have to do, then yeah, that's totally okay to say no. And I would honestly vouch for you saying no. But you don't want to miss out on life, right? Like even if you're grinding for something, it's really worth it to find a way to incorporate it just as part of your daily or even weekly routine, right? Like just once a week can it makes such a difference. It makes you feel so much healthier, so much like just more alive and more integrated with other people. And like it's really healthy to meet new people. And that's I know it's scary for a lot of people. It's scary for me too, but it really does like after a good interaction, after you meet someone new, it just feels so nice. And it's good to get out of your comfort zone in that way too. And so, you could do that through clubs or societies, like if you go to school. Um, Parties, like I said, there's just so many activities that you can do, like study groups or sports. Those are all very valid things that just it helps you meet new people and it helps you. It just feels like a sense of community, and I feel like everyone kind of has that need, but not a lot of people recognize it. And obviously, like going to clubs and drinking isn't ideal, but I would honestly say that's better than isolating yourself and just sitting in your room working 24/7. And let's be real, like you're not working 24/7. Like I'm sure yeah, like just like a week ago, my friend wanted to go out and I was so ready to just sit in my room and play video games because I had just finished exams and I honestly that's all I wanted to do. But no, he said we should go out. And so we did and I had such a good time. Like it's crazy to think like I almost said no to that. But there's just so many opportunities that like I've said no to in the past, and I'm kicking myself now because there's so much I probably missed out on that. I'm only gonna be this young once, and I'm only gonna have so many opportunities. And yeah, like it's obviously if you say no to like one or two things, like don't stay awake at night like angry that you didn't go, like that's not healthy. And like there will be other opportunities, but you can't say no to everything. It's just kind of finding that healthy balance. I think making sure you're active, like socially active, and yeah, It's just it really makes you feel like a whole different person, and it makes you feel so much better about yourself. So just yeah, don't be afraid to party, especially if you're in school. Like it's one of the last times you're going to be around a lot of young people, people your age, I mean, that are that they all have something in common with you. Like you can basically talk to anyone about like, what are you studying? And like that might be it seem like a boring question, but you can always just transition that into saying like, how'd you choose that? It's just it's such an easy way to just meet new people and to live life. Like yeah, I really isolated myself last year. Even when like I wasn't working, I felt like I had to be. And when I wasn't working, I was like playing video games or whatever. Not that that's like a bad thing. Like I do think video games are fine, and you shouldn't beat yourself up over, like I guess like wasting time in ways like that, right? Like if you're too hard on yourself, that's just gonna be unhealthy. But yeah, I said no to so many things, and I'm just realizing now like how much fun I could have had, and it almost like I almost like want to be more productive after I go hang out with people because I just feel better about myself. Like I'm not. I mean, being productive is very closely tied to your mental health, and if you just feel like depressed, like you're not gonna get any work done. But just going out and meeting people helps that. It really does. Even if you're not meeting people, if you just hang out with like the same group of friends, like I mean, I'm sure you know how much like how good that feels. So yeah, I feel like a lot of people just kind of close themselves up when they go on self improvement or like the grind set, which it's okay to say no to some stuff and go out less, but yeah, I do think going out in moderation, maybe just like once or twice a week, is really healthy. And yeah, I guess I don't see anything wrong with that, even if it's partying. So yeah, I guess that's kind of more of a controversial take, but I guess that's just it's what works for me. So something to keep in mind.